In this week's episode of Midlife Midweek Ramble, I'm going to be talking about why it's really important to do something new, to strive to push yourself slightly past your boundaries, and why that matters more in menopause. I'm also going to be talking about my 3-minute makeup routine, and the reason is because I'm so tired of seeing those makeup routines out there that say 5-minute makeup and it takes me 25 minutes. I got my favorite 3 products and I put them on video. God knows if it works out okay. And it took me 2 minutes, 44 seconds. So go and check that out. See you soon. Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's episode of my Midlife Midweek Ramble. Good to have you here. Thanks for all the amazing feedback. And I've had about 1,000 new followers on YouTube, and while that doesn't matter to me too much, my kids are super excited because they've been trying to get me on YouTube for the longest time, and they keep giving me all of these tips and tricks of things I have to do. It's really, really cute that they're sort of getting involved in this. Anyway, so welcome, and today let's talk about what's in my trusty cup from Starbucks with Toronto on. Now, I am drinking an English breakfast tea, but this one is a much weaker tea than I usually have, and it's from Mariage Frère. I've probably said that terribly wrong. I don't know if you can see that. Mariage Frère. And when I ever go to France and Paris, it sounds like I go all the time. When I go to Paris, but I do go sometimes on the way through going to Europe, I go to this shop because I love it. And one of the reasons I love it is because it feels like such an indulgence. And check out what the tea bags look like. I just love them. Can you see? They're like cotton or muslin little tea sacks, and cute little beautiful labeling on them. Oh, anyway, I love these tea bags, and so as a treat, every now and again, I have one of these. Okay, so it's so good. It's not nearly as strong as Yorkshire tea, but sometimes I don't want super strong tea. Anyway, so today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but my face looks very pale because this is me, au naturel, without makeup on. And you know when you see these like influencers or whatever, these content creators that say how to do your makeup if you're over 50, and I always look at them and I always try and do them, and it says makeup in 5 minutes, and when I actually do the makeup it takes me like 20 minutes, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so sick of that, and I don't have time to do 20-minute makeup. Everything's last minute for me. And so today I'm going to use 3 products. If I was to have like the only products I could have with 3, these would be the 3 I would pick, and maybe you recognize them. And I'm going to put my makeup on and I'm going to time it and see how long it takes. I think it's going to take me 3 minutes. 3 products, 3 minutes, and it's what I do pretty much most days. There's probably some other extra things I would usually do, but for today, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'll do that in a second, so you're going to have to put up with me makeup free for a little bit longer. I mean, literally, this is how I wake up every day. I don't even think I've brushed my hair. Okay, admin-y stuff first, get the admin-y stuff out of the way. So this week on Instagram, I will be doing some Instagram lives, and I just want to tell you a little bit about them. So I've got my trusty notebook here. All right, so the first one is with Dr. Carla, and I'm not going to say her last name because she has asked me to practice and practice and practice it. I've interviewed her a bunch of times and I just can't say it. It sounds like Parmigiano or something like that, only it's Di Carmaggio. Oh gosh, she's going to hate me for this. She's brilliant though. I'm going to put her name here. But I'm interviewing her on Friday because, and this is really handy for all those women out there who are health coaches, personal trainers, or anyone that wants to support menopausal women. She's come up with a menopause course. Now, I was involved in the creation of the course, although I don't get anything for it. I'm going to get to do the course for free. And actually, when I do my company, Naya, I'm going to make sure that all of the personal trainers that come on board do this certification. It's led by a company called MedFit. So it's a medically sponsored or created content. Dr. Carla is an endocrinologist, menopausal woman, menopause specialist, also like a fitness coach as well. She's so strong. Her sort of specialty is more CrossFit, but her workouts aren't really CrossFit. But anyway, so she's done this course, and it's really, really detailed down to like the hormonal level, like all of our hormones, like how our thyroid responds, how our hunger hormones respond. And I think it's just really great for anyone that wants to support menopausal women. And that's really what we want to do. None of us are trying to replace these doctors, of course. That's on Friday. And I'm going to just link you to my Instagram account in the post below, because then you can just go and follow along. Okay, so that's on Friday at noon Eastern time. And so if you're a coach who's interested in learning more about that certification, then join us then Friday the 3rd at noon Eastern time. And then on the same day at 3 o'clock Eastern time, my good friend and DVRT master trainer, which is the ultimate sandbags, that's how we met. We were both master trainers there. Elizabeth Smith Andrews is going to host me on her platform, and we're going to have a good old chin wag, like a good old chin wag with a cup of tea. And in fact, you know what's really funny, talking about cups of tea, is that she's like a full Southern girl. You know, she's so funny. She's just got this real drawl, and I just love it. But she's only just discovered afternoon tea, and she's like, what is this thing that's afternoon tea? Why didn't I know about it? And so I've been sending her to all of these places. Excuse me, I'm going to have a bit more. When you talk about tea, I always want a cup of tea. All these places in Seattle where she lives to go and have afternoon tea. And so anyway, I'm chatting with her on Friday. And so if you just want to come along, and we're going to be talking about like how we feel like the fitness world has changed and how it can be used in a positive way to help support women through midlife. I mean, she's a woman in her 50s, and she's been very open about her health journey, so that's going to be good. And then probably the 2nd or 3rd week in February, I will be interviewing live Dr. Lisa Mosconi, who runs the Women's Brain Initiative in New York, where I'm part of the research. Like, I went and had all my brain scanned and everything. If anyone ever is in New York and wants to be part of this research, it's really great. And she's looking for the link between us going through menopause and Alzheimer's, and what we know and what we don't know, because there's a lot of people making crazy claims out there, and there's a lot of people taking her work and skewing it into their bias. And she's always sat back going, I didn't say that. But what we do know is that Alzheimer's is a very complex disease, and it's heartbreaking. I've actually had, lost a family member through it, and it's pretty devastating. And so anything we can do from a preventative measure is amazing. And that includes the lifestyle, the exercise, nutrition, etc., etc., etc. So anyway, she's releasing a new paper, and she's going to come on my Instagram live so that she can talk about it and explain it in an idiot's guide to menopause and Alzheimer's and what it really does mean, and which is really interesting for me, because I just want to make sure that we always have the valid information out there. And in addition to that, I'm also starting to record my podcast. My podcast is called With All Due Respect. I've done 2 seasons. My 3rd season will be coming out in April, and I sort of like record all of the interviews before, so that my life is easier, and then they just get released April onwards, 12 episodes. Dr. Pauline Mackey, who is one of the lead neuroscientists on women's health in the US, is coming on there. So all of this is like really great stuff. And the last little bit of admin thing is on February the 24th, which is that whole weekend, 24th, 25th, 26th. My friend Kim Schlag is coming up to visit Toronto, and she's super excited. She's trying to do all of these cool things in the lead up to her 52nd birthday. And the one thing she wants to do when she comes to Toronto is eat poutine. And I don't blame her, because it's super, super delicious. If you don't know what it is, it's fries, like French fries, chips, whatever you call it, where you are, with gravy on. And it's better if the gravy is made with duck gravy. It's so good. With cheese curds on too. So you put the chips, the cheese curds, and then you pour gravy on, and oh my God, it's so good. I've only had it though about 2 or 3 times in my life, because to me it's like the ultimate hangover cure, and because I don't drink, I don't have a hangover, and it's one of those things that it just sits like a brick in your belly for like 3 weeks. But regardless, it's one of those, it's worth it. And so she's coming to Toronto, and then let's just double check the day. February the 25th is the Saturday morning, and we're going to do a meet and greet in Toronto High Park. So anybody on here from Toronto, keep an eye out, because we will be grabbing some coffee, meeting in High Park, going for a little hike, and hopefully meeting a few of you. So I'm quite excited about that. Okay, right, let's talk about my makeup. I'm going to see if I can do this. It might be interesting to see how it works, but here we go. Okay, I'm going to tie my hair up first of all, and I want to show you what I do for my makeup. And I sort of reached out to my friend who's an esthetician to get some ideas from her. So I've never worn foundation, even when I was younger, not really into it. I don't like the way it feels. But as I've got older, I've got some like changes to my skin. Like I was freckly as a kid, but I also go super brown in the summer. I've got that like half olivey, like Irishy type skin. But I've got some freckles that have gone darker, and sometimes my eyes are really dark. I've got one of those complexions that, you know, if I'm feeling run down, like I didn't sleep well last night and my eyes are as black as coal. So I've started to wear a tinted moisturizer, and I don't wear a foundation. I only wear a tinted moisturizer, and I really like the way it looks on my skin. And one of the reasons I use this is because everything I've heard about, like how to put makeup on as our skin changes. And remember, we were talking with the vitamin C, how it's just so much drier, and we're trying to like revitalize it. Well, anything that's cream based rather than matte based is going to be better for your skin. And people often ask why my skin's so shiny, and I'm going to show you why I've got shiny skin. Vitamin C, first of all. So right now on my face, I have vitamin C and I have sunscreen. Okay, so here we go. So this is what I use. I use this one. It's Laura Mercier, and it's a tinted moisturizer. I hope you can see this, tinted moisturizer. This color is called Fawn. And I have like a sort of olivey complexion, and so I need to have a little bit of yellow in it. Okay, so I'm going to try and put this on. Oh my God. I'm going to time it though. Let's time it and see how long it takes. Bearing in mind, I'm going to be talking in between, but I think I can talk at the same time because I'm that talented. And let's just see how long it takes. Okay, right. Okay, we're going to start now. So I'm going to put the moisturizer on. Oh my God. So I'm going to look away from the camera for a little bit as I put out on about this much. Not too much. That's actually probably too much. And I put a little bit here, a little bit here, here. I don't really know what I'm doing though. Okay, see, I've put too much on, but that's fine. And then I get like a little sponge and just rub that in. And I do it over the top of my eyes a little bit actually, because and can you see already it's given like a nice glow, and it seems to just give like a more of an even texture. Now this is the freckle under my eye, and it doesn't go, and I've never tried to use any lasers or anything to get rid of it, so I'm living with it and I'm okay with that. Anyway, so look, on, and I usually go down my neck, but I've got my little thingy on. Now, as I'm going to put this on, I'm going to talk about this. This company is called Milk, and I love them. I love them because of the ease of use. This color is called Work, and it probably won't be able to show on here. Work, W-E-R-K, and it's like these little tubs. And here we go. I put it on my cheeks. See a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit on my lips, and then I take the same container, put a tiny bit on my eyelids, just a little bit, and it just gives a really nice look to the cheekbones, and it's sort of shiny. So can you see how practical that is? I love the way this is. Like, so that's 2 products. And then finally, my mascara. I have always used L'Oreal Voluminous, always. Now, I think maybe for like 20 years. Now, this is a curved brush, and it's an old one, and I'm desperate to get a new one, and I use dark brown often. And Donna May of London told me that when you put mascara on, if you put it on the eye and then just work it into the root back and forth. I've never done this before, so I'm probably going to get mascara all over myself. And just go back and forth. I have actually really long eyelashes anyway, and of course I've got the big eyebrows as well, so I don't need a ton on. And I would put it on the bottom too, but I actually can't because I can't see. But look, I'm done. And can you see that? 2:44. Like, I actually think it takes me about 3 minutes to do my makeup every day. And I think it just looks natural and pretty sort of nice. And it's, I don't know, I just think it's just the easiest way to do it. So I have a few of these Milk products. I can't remember how much they cost, but maybe we're talking like $25, $30. And this is a little bit more expensive, but this is their travel size, but that lasts me like half a year. And these are nothing. These are like free, aren't they? They're voluminous ones. So yeah, so 3-minute makeup every day. That's sort of what I do. And I think one of the reasons I don't like to wear a lot of makeup is because I exercise a lot, right? And I am like, I don't want to wash my face, put all my sunscreen on, and then do my makeup, and then wash it off, and then mascara's down my eyes, blah, 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 blah. So because of all of that, I just keep it as simple as possible. And then maybe if I go out, I'll use, I do love eyeliner. So I often wear eyeliner and maybe a darker lipstick. Anyway, I wondered what you think about this. I do think that now I'm super drawn to any like cream-based products. I think it's so nice for our skin. So with the hydration beforehand and with the sunscreen and then the tinted moisturizer, my skin sort of feels really hydrated all day long. Okay, so let me know what you think about that. Okay, so you know that my gig is always to try and encourage women to reach further, to reach their potential. But I also know that through perimenopause especially, and even just as we age, we feel often we lack confidence, and maybe we lose a little bit of belief in ourselves. In fact, that there's a known phenomena where we start to lose belief in our athletic ability. And while it feels hard to push ourselves and to do the next step, it's crucial that we do. It's crucial that we always try and strive to, you know, do something new and to just push our boundaries slightly. It's where growth happens, where growth mindset happens. And what we also know about losing belief in our athletic ability is that it translates directly into loss of lean body mass, essentially everything that's not fat, but really it's our muscles and our bones, our musculoskeletal system. And we don't want that to happen. In fact, we want to do everything we can in our power to stay strong and be capable. Anyway, so all that being said, what does that mean? Well, it means that, you know, all those times we get an opportunity to do things and we go, no, I don't want to, I don't feel like I can. Well, it's sort of the way to encourage yourself to just stop and pause and say, you know what, actually, I would like to try something new. And so this weekend, I decided to try something new. And it wasn't like something that's scary or something that's sort of out there. But I have also had like a bit of a shit year. Last December, I ruptured my gastrocnemius, which is the bicep belly part of your calf, and also plantaris tendon. And the plantaris tendon runs from your Achilles all the way up to the back of your knee. And it's actually an obsolete tendon. You don't really need it. But I sliced through that, pop, 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 it all went, and it hurt like a bitch. I can't even tell you. So it took about 6 weeks to recover. But one of the reasons it happened is because I had Achilles tendonitis, and the Achilles were inflamed and they weren't able to recover. And one of the reasons is because you have to use your feet. You have to walk, right? Also, one of the things is likely to be because I'm postmenopausal, and just the integrity of our tendons without that estrogen in it can take longer to heal. I mean, we're seeing more and more research all the time, frustratingly so. Anyway, it took me about a year to recover. And in between, I just pivoted, and I hate that word, but I did. I pivoted, you know, and I took out my cardiovascular frustrations on swimming, on rowing, and on other things that didn't aggravate my Achilles. Lots of walking, and I got really sick of my neighborhood because I was walking around in circles. But I'm back now, and I really last year wanted to try cross-country skiing, so this weekend I did. We've had a very mild winter here in Toronto, but we had this big dump of snow, so we went north to a friend's cottage and we went into the forest and we went on trails, and it was so much fun. Oh my god, I just loved it. I dressed completely inappropriately. I dressed for downhill skiing, so I had way too many clothes on because it's essentially like really fast walking, running. Anyway, has anyone else tried cross-country skiing, or have you done it? I always avoided it because I thought it looked a bit boring. But apparently during lockdown in Ontario, when everything was locked down, people started doing cross-country skiing because it was one of the few things they could do safely and without sort of breaking any of the rules. So a few friends loaned me some gear, and we had to make trails because the snow was super thick and there was no trails there. So I led the way a little bit doing that, but I finally sort of towards the end got used to the technique, the like ski and slide, and I loved it. Anyway, so that was something that I did that was new, and it sort of really made me feel happy because I don't like winters and I need something that sort of keeps me going. So that, as well as ice skating, I will be ice skating this week hopefully as well, and I'm rubbish at ice skating, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my GoPro and I'm going to show you me doing it. I'm going to hopefully get me through this winter. And anyway, but at the end of cross-country skiing, look at my face, like it was like this. Yeah, I was wiped. Anyway, I don't think we did very much either. We were maybe only out an hour, but wow. And I just felt good all day. Like it got me exhilarated. In addition to that, I'm trying to encourage my oldest son to get back into exercising. Now, this is hard. A lot of us have got kids and we're always concerned about their health and the food that they eat. My son has had a particularly hard time of things, unfortunately had to drop out of university and move back home, which I'm happy about, and we're just trying to get him back on track and get him well again. So he signed up for the local college and he's doing programming. He's a bit of a nerd, so that suits him, and now he's feeling good about all of that and he's happy to be home with his family. I'm trying to get him to move again, and I'm not forcing this, and because of all my coaching training, I know how to handle this, but still it's tricky with our kids. Nobody tells us, right? So he's put a bit of weight on that he doesn't want, and he's also not as fit as he was. Now my son is 6'4", 240 pounds. He's not small, but he's an amazing athlete. He's got the Thebe legs. We have good solid thighs, and so he played linebacker as a football, but he just wants to feel good about himself again. So we've signed up for a free trial at F45. Now, I've tried F45 before and wasn't a fan, but the reason that we're going is because I really want my son to feel an obligation, and he'll feel an obligation if he has classes booked. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, and I see this a lot with women who don't want to go to the gym, is that when you go to a class where there's a community of people, you'll start to recognize people and feel a little bit of a sense of belonging. And one of the problems my son has is he struggles socially. He's not like me. He's not much of a chatterbox. And so it's another way for him to meet people. And while I don't particularly love the programming, I find it to be a little bit too random and not structured enough. For somebody who's just getting back into it, it's going to be a lot of fun. And so I've signed up with him. I'm going to go for at least a week with him. I think we're going to go 4 times with our week's pass. And I'll let you know how it goes. So that's something else that we're doing that's new together. And I also think that buddying up with people is another way to get things done. So if you're really struggling to make some moves and how to get started, try and consider finding something that you've got to make a commitment to, something that's got a community base to it. Buddy up with a friend and don't take it too seriously. Actually go and have some fun. And in my mind, I'm going because I just want to have a laugh with my son, and I think we'll, josh each other and stuff like that. So give that a go. And then with regard to his nutrition, I really am not going to focus too much on it right now. I'm very wary about creating moralistic rules around food and making him worry too much about it. But I do know that he wants to lose weight as well. And so we're just starting to just focus more on less snacking, because he does a lot of mindless snacking sat at the computer. So he's just said, I'm just not going to snack when I'm sat at my computer. He's going to try and eat 3 full meals a day instead of lots of little snacking throughout the day, potentially 1 snack. And while I create most of the meals in the house, I make them very plant forward and protein forward, so there's always a good amount of protein on there. I think that should help him, you know, set him off onto the right track. So anyway, I'll keep you posted on how that goes. Hi everyone.
Hi.
So we just did our first F45 class, hey? And what do you reckon, Cam?
You know, it was tiring.
I was a little bit surprised how hard it was. It was a cardio based class, and we were nearly crying at the end, it's fair to say, but we're doing a whole week's trial, right?
Yeah, through thick and thin.
Through thick and thin. And while I'm talking about the nutritional component, in YouTube they have this really cool tab called Community, and I posted a poll the other day and I said, what type of things do you want me to talk about? Do you want me to talk about hormone therapy, what your options are? And remember, I would talk about that from the medical consensus, just, you know, what's available to you. Why HRT didn't work for me, because it didn't, and that's okay. Do you want me to talk about nutrition or something else? And almost all of you wanted me to talk about nutrition. So next week I'm going to start a small set of weekly series about nutrition, and I thought I'd do it over a few weeks because it's a big topic and I'd like to just give you bite sizes, no pun intended, or maybe it was pun intended, bite size, digestible amounts of nutritional information that hopefully you can start implementing. So so look out for that next week. Okay, now to the fun part, the bit that I like talking about, knitting. What do you think about this? Hey, cute, hey? So I haven't made much progress on my vest that I'm making, and it's about down to here on me now, but it's this color. It's so nice. I was going to put it on half knitted to show you, but I've decided not to because I don't think my cable is big enough and I don't want to pull any stitches out. But this is from the same designer. The designer is called Petite Knits, and this is called the Stockholm scarf. And although it's called the Stockholm scarf, I do believe that the designer is Danish, and I just love anything Scandinavian. And the reason I did this is because, one, I wanted to see how my yarn from Peru knitted up. And you know, sometimes when it's time to go out, if we're going out for dinner or something, I'm going out to meet friends, I'm just so lazy. So, you know, I'll do all the stuff like eating and exercising and manage my stress and all of that. But when it comes to like dressing up, well, you've just seen my 3-minute makeup routine. I just try to keep it simple. I'll often just tie my hair up, but something like this just like dresses up an outfit really cute, and I just love it. I just think it's like the nicest little thing, and it's really warm as well. And so when you go into restaurants with like air conditioning on, or it's winter outside, it's just nice to keep my neck warm. So anyway, I love this. It's such a cute little thing. And for anyone, because a few of you commented previously that you'd like to start knitting but you don't know how, well, this is something that you could try. It's not as straightforward as it looks, because there is like an eye cord in it, which is like a nice finish to the edge. And in fact, I'll take it off and I'll show you so you can understand. But essentially, if you know how to increase and decrease, this is something that you can do. So this is the short version, and it's all knit. It's all garter stitch. So garter stitch is just knit. So this is the knit. Can you see that? Right, so this is the knit. And an eye cord is this part. It's the edging here. And the edging just gives it a really lovely finish. Can you see it? Now you only increase on one edge. So the bottom edge here stays the same. And then the top edge, you can see the increase and decrease. Very, very simple. So there's 2 lengths. This is the short one. And I don't think there's a particular way to wear it. I mean, in fact, in the picture, she wears it long like this. I think this is quite cute too. I like it doubled around my neck, but I mean, this looks cute too. Anyway, so if you're looking for a starting project, I mean, you can give this a go. I'll put the pattern below. There you go. It's nice, isn't it? Just a pop of colour. So anyway, give that a go if you want to. Last up, I want to show you this book. I bought this book and I had to buy it from Finland, and it cost me a fortune for it to arrive. But oh my goodness, it was worth it. So I follow this woman, Veronica Lindberg, on YouTube. She's a knit designer and she's got the most impeccable taste. In fact, the front cover, the jumper or sweater as you guys might call it, with the embroidery on, I just love it. And so I follow her all the time because I love her accent. She lives in Finland. She walks about with a camera and you always see all of the snow peaks and frozen lake. And anyway, so there's a whole bunch of stuff that I love in here, but this one in particular took my eye. It's called the Bubble Gum Sweater. Now, I still have a sweater to finish here, and I can't finish it until the yarn comes from the UK. My mum's had to send me another ball of yarn, and she sent it in December, and it still hasn't arrived, and I just don't know what to do about it. It all happened when the Royal Mail was on strike, and so, oh my God, I hope it turns up. When that one's finished, I think I'm going to make this bubblegum sweater. So if you're looking for some beautiful, like gorgeous, unique patterns, I definitely recommend that you follow along with this designer because she's just got the best taste. And actually, this is another one that I think I would do as well if I had enough remnants of wool, because I think this is like just for scrap yarn. Anyway, so yeah, so I just like looking at the pictures. I'm like a child with a little picture book. I'm like, ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, so if you're interested in picking that up, she also has an ebook, which is a lot less stressful and cheap to pay for. But I personally like real books, you know. Anyway, that's me done. I hope you had fun. This was just a little bit more relaxed than my previous ones. I just thought it'd be fun just to show you like how I put my makeup on and bits and bobs that I'm up to. So starting next week, remember, I'm going to be talking about nutrition. I'm going to be pulling from my book, Menopocalypse, because I write about it at length there. In fact, I'm thinking of delivering it to you in sort of the sequence that I write about it in the book, because then I can refer you to the pages and you can ask questions as well. So as usual, thank you very much for stopping by. And if you would like to subscribe and like, that would be very much appreciated. And apparently there's a little bell thing you can press that lets you know when I've uploaded the next episode. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Bye for now.